Welcome, my mechanic apprentices. I am Ben Pearson, the Roadster Fixer. We'll go with that. Or Roadster Tracker, whatever you want to say. Today, we're going to fix up Perseverance with the game Rover Mechanic Simulator, if I can ever remember what it's called. This is a fantastic little game where you get to fix up some of the various Mars rovers. I hope they start to do some stuff that's different. We're just going to take the Perseverance ones with the new Perseverance DLC. So they sent the rover to the lands. It's probably dirty. Check to see what needs to be fixed. Can't do a premium mission. I think this will do. Yep, let's go ahead and do this. So, first thing, as always, we have to go pull the rover and put it onto the crane. I mean, use the crane to pull the rover over. Drop down. Plunk. It's a hardy bot. Okay. So let's take a look here. Now, one of the things, since I've been playing this on my YouTube channel, but I wanted to play it here. One of the things I've had is the upgrade where you can check instantly and see exactly what is broken. And wow, there's some stuff that's broken. No wonder this is a hard mission. So we'll take that off. This was also broken. Hang on. What do we need to get this guy off? This needs to come off. So we'll take that off. Okay. This thing is damaged, so we need to take this off. That's right. Been a little while since I played this. We'll have to take this guy out. Take off the little mounting plate. Let's take off the cable first, as we always like to do. Except for when I'm impatient. And I forget like then. Okay, this thing's got to come off. So one of the things I noticed, you highlight over and you can see what part is connected to it. That was a very nice little feature I wish I had known about. Plunk out the motor. Sure. I don't know if we need to take that off or not, but that's okay. Okay. Boy, this thing has seen better days. Yep, the whole suspension's... Yep, it's red. We're going to have to take it off. Let's get this cable off. So Perseverance, of course, landed... What was it? A little over a week ago. It's doing okay so far. Released a very, very amazing video. So if we can see that, yeah, we got to take the wheel off. And then we got to take the motor out. I've been playing Dyson Sphere program, and it has a slightly easier way to rotate things around. You hold the left mouse button and move it around. But you know what? It's okay. Take off that cable. Gonna have to take this out. That's fine. Okay, looking good. So we can take this off without the motor, although we're going to have to take the motor out anyways. Take this guy out. Boy, poor Perseverance. It's seen better days. Okay, looks like we can take the whole thing off. Let's get the cables. We're not following the book to get this guy. There's another cable. This is interesting. And it should just come off. Okay. Anything red? Well, we've got this guy. Let's take him off. Differential something or other. A lot of yellow parts, but yellow's fine. This wheel needs to come off. Looks like this thing's going to come off too. Yep, the wheel mount. We're going to have to print up a lot of parts here before too long. Looks like that's it. Now, it said something about some dirty parts. So, let's see if we can see anything that looks like it's dirty. Instrument turret. I love how it's called a turret. Drill contact. We've got Sherlock. Interesting. The masthead looks okay. Not in the best health, but it's doable. The Hazcams are alright. Not great, but okay. Wait, JTL? Because they probably couldn't pay for the licensing cost. That's what my theory is. Okay, this looks fine. So first thing, let's print up the parts that we can just do. So wheel mount, 2 wheel mounts, front wheel strut. Let's go ahead and do that. Front wheel strut. And then the other thing we need is the left side suspension. Hang on one sec. Okay. Good. So we got these parts. Now we're going to have to take the other ones apart at the subassembly level. So no cleaning that can be done. Let's just start taking... So we know the wheel's going to need to be done. That's fine. And some of the wheel spokes. The real question is how many of them have to be taken out? Jeez, these things are rough. They gotta take better care of our little boy there. Poor Percy. And the bearing is also not in great shape. Okay. We may as well just print a new wheel. Let's keep taking apart the wheels. Yep, looks like everything's busted again. It's such a pain to take these rims off, and you think that you could do this easier, not have to take everything apart like this, but I guess they just want to make things more interesting for the game. Everything's fine except for taking Spirit and Opportunity completely apart. Getting to the computer on that thing is a royal pain. Okay, the bearing's okay on that one. And then, yep, the bearing's going to have to come off on this. So I'm going to go print up the parts for the wheels. Well, no. We'll print up all of the parts while we are... When we're printing up all of the parts for this, we should have enough extra work that we can do. And we have most of the struts for one. So we'll start with the rim. We need 3 rims. We can use some of the struts from other wheels to get it back on, and it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Next, differential restraint. Okay, differential rest spring. We've got to take this off. I guess we'll just start taking stuff off. Take this thing off. Have never fixed one of those. And it looks like we got everything apart. Good. So let's go over here. How many spokes do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spokes. Two wheel rims, 3 wheel rims, 2 bearings. Okay. So wheel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 bearings. And that will cover all of those parts. Let's pick these up, or else there won't be enough room. Now, what do we have next is the differential rest spring and differential rest hook. Differential rest spring and rest hook. I think it was A. Do we have A or B? We have A, so it must be B. This is why I usually don't toss the parts until after getting cocky, because I've played this too much. Bad stuff happens when that happens. Okay, anyways. Let's go ahead and we'll try and fix this up. Rest mounting. Rest hook A. The rest hook B is that part that we don't have yet, but that is the part that we printed. Good. Let's get the wheels back together. We're going to fix this up so one of the wheels is nice and shiny, and then one of them will have a bunch of yellow parts, because the way that the thing works is if there's one part that is broken, or the best that a whole thing can be working is the sum of its parts, right? So you kind of want to have things that are working roughly the same together. Not that it matters. Really, you just have to fix everything up reasonably well. Okay. Let's get the other wheel. Gotta screw it back on. Tell you, this game loves to have you take apart the wheels. Okay, that's the last good one. Take the least bad. So this one will be a yellow part, which is fine. And then let's get the last wheel fixed. Put the rims back on, or spokes back on, so that way the rim will connect up to the rest of the wheel and something interesting can happen. This is quite the design. I have to guess it's some kind of shock absorption system. Very impressive design. And I know that you can get some dirt down in here because there was some dirt at landing, and it can happen during normal operations as well. It's not a huge concern at all, but it's interesting. Okay. Let's go pick up our last printed part so we can fix our differential. And differential restraint. Put this guy on. And looking good. Excellent. Yeah, let's lower this guy. Okay. So we got to put the suspension on first. Brand new suspension. Get the screws back on. We try, even though it doesn't always happen. The rest is just connecting the cabling up. Okay, looking good. This is a huge improvement from little Sojourner, which had the same basic system. The rocker, I think it's called. Although this is way more sophisticated. I should have finished that wheel completely. That's okay. Sojourner, as I have learned through this game, was a six-wheel drive. It was not six-wheel drive, it could only drive with four of the wheels. Getting impatient, I see, but that's okay. Yeah, this one made sense to do it that order. Not get the screws down first. We'll put the screws in this time first. Not that it makes any difference. And there we go. Now plop the motor in. Put the wheel back on. Put the good wheel on here. Excellent. Now let's get this guy on. Boy, this wheel's seen better days. But it's acceptable. And it's got a new tread, so it's all good. Let's put this on. Lots and lots of screws. Put the engine in. It's interesting that the engine's up here. No, wait, there's two engines. That one will control the position of it. And then this is the one that actually drives the wheels forward. So they can move the legs up and down independently if they're trying to crawl over a rock. So that's what this does. Okay. That's everything on this side. Let's get to the other side. Put the wheel mount in. Screws before cables. Get the motor back in. And then wheel it up. Wheeling and dealing. Then we still got to put the differential on the top. Let's just zoom out. Click on something up there. So the high gain antenna, that was a major milestone to get that deployed when it was on the surface. Okay. And now that differential is attached. Let's see here. Let's look at our tablet and see repaired rover. Sweet. Now we just gotta connect this thing in. Go give it a kick. Hit the auto button because that puzzle's annoying. And we are complete. All objectives complete. Not bad. Almost 1,000 experience. Look at this. For 4,000 in parts, we got 21,000. Of course, you have nothing really to spend money on. So let's try another Percy. Something's wrong with the hazard avoidance. Haven't detected any obstacles. Now this rover is a huge mess. Okay. Well. So it does have the ability to drive around somewhat autonomously and avoid hazards. Because if you have to wait for an operator, then that takes forever. Although they're probably, especially in the early days, they're going to try to do it more manually, probably. With the hazard detection as a backup. Whoa. Oh boy. This rover has seen better days. So we got two wheels. Wheels always are taking the beating. We'll fix these guys right up though. Okay. Looking good. Let's take this thing off. Just 2 wheels. That's not so bad. We've got the mast. That one's going to be fun. Ooh, look at that thing. 4 beat up. Okay. I don't see anything else up here. Let's look at the has cam in the back. The rear one? You would think that the front one would be more important than the rear one, although it can drive backwards. It may do that when it deploys the helicopter Ingenuity. Ooh, this wheel needs to be taken off as well. We got to lift it up. There's something going on underneath. I've never seen that particular part be broken before. Okay. Okay, it's high enough. We can now get under. So let's take the plate off. So this gear all here is to deploy Ingenuity, which is the little helicopter. You can actually fix up Ingenuity, but there's not a lot to it. It's a very, very simple little bot. So there's only 2 missions, and they're both pretty easy. If people are interested, I can show you what those look like, though. You can replay missions, but you can also just check out my YouTube channel, because I have those covered there. Okay. Everything's fine here. Okay, so it went rough and it must have bottomed out. Okay. I see. So interior bottom cover. That was a bad choice of words to search. Interior bottom cover. We'll just dump this. And then let's go visit our workbench to see what's really broken. Let's start with the mast. This is probably the most fun. So the cover for the super cam is broken. Everything inside seems okay. These guys are looking good. Yeah, that's easy. Oh, that's not so bad. The has cam. We can see that the camera is broken. So the cover works fine. But this guy, the cover, so this will help to protect the camera. They can actually take those off, but the camera itself looks pretty beat up, which is probably why it ran into a ditch. Okay, that's fine. And then let's check the wheels out. Just the rims. So I think in the lore of the game, you're obviously not fixing up the real bots, but I think they clone these and you're sending them off on exploration missions and having to repair them when they misbehave. Okay. The bearing is good though. That's good. Once again, just the rim. Just the thing that takes 24 screws to get off. Okay. Looking good. So I think the hope is that at this point in time, Perseverance is mostly ready to actually start exploring the surface of Mars. The first order of business is the helicopter Ingenuity. They're going to look for a relatively flat spot close to where the rover landed, and they're going to drop it off. They have to drop off they have like a little cover to protect it during landing that they'll have to drop that off first. And then they can just deploy that pretty much anytime. Then they'll go in a different spot, drop off the chopper. It has to unfold itself. It's sideways actually, so it has to flip itself upright and then go down. Okay. Can't talk and do things. We need a wheel. 2, 3 of those. And then what was the other part that we needed? The soup cam cover, the rear has cam camera. Okay, we can get these recycled. Rear has camera. And then soup. The cover. Mass soup cam cover. There we go. Those are going to take a while to install, so let's go ahead and get the wheels fixed up while we're waiting for parts to print. They learned a lot about how to make the wheels. One of the biggest problems that Curiosity has had is its wheels have just gotten torn to shreds. And they actually, if you look at the Curiosity wheel, they have some dots and dashes that are on the outside that spell out JPL in Morse code. If we want to, we can pull up a Curiosity one, and you can look and see that. But yeah, Curiosity, its wheels are just in rough shape. So they made Perseverance's wheels much stronger. And hopefully it can take a beating. I mean, they really haven't gone that far, but okay. Almost there. A lot of screwing in this game, but it's part of the fun, right? We like fixing things. Whether it be factories like in Dyson Sphere that we just finished. I been playing that on my own, and the end game just drags. I mean, we could make a bigger and bigger factory to go launch more Dyson Sphere components faster, but you know, Dyson Sphere is a huge amount of material. And technically, we beat the game. Or I beat the game. I guess it was without you. But yeah, we only have, oh gosh, the Dyson Sphere is maybe 20% complete. And I left it on just to go for a minute. I left it on for 2 hours, still continuing to put itself together. Let's go pick up the parts. Okay. I forgot to recycle that. That's okay. Okay. The has cam needs to be reassembled. Colors don't look like they're working right there at the moment. That's okay. We can make this work. So this flip cover, it can flip on and off at will to protect the camera, except for when you need it most. The very first pictures, they actually had that still enabled, still flipped out. So even if it gets stuck, you could still see through it, but you know, obviously you get better pictures without a cover around them. A lot of the less serious photographers, they like to put a cover of some kind, a UV filter usually, that's just to kind of protect the lens on their expensive lenses. But the real photographers, they don't like to do that because it lowers the quality. And it's kind of even more so with the Mars thing because the covers will be dusty. Okay, looks good. The wheels, we can fix those without having to get on there, and the house cam too. Okay, let's get the house cam. You definitely don't get every single screw and bolt and connector in because there's a lot of times where you have mechanical connections that you don't see the corresponding electrical connections that would inevitably be there. And occasionally the opposite's true too. But this game does a fantastic job of making you feel like you're a mechanic working on Martian rovers. Probably a lot like what it'd be to be at JPL, I imagine. Except for not quite so straightforward. And a lot less pressure. They're super, super careful. Okay, see no electrical connection there. And let's test it out. No! Still something broken. Lovely. Well, let's see if we can figure out what that is. Front house cam looks just fine. The camera's good. Calibration targets are looking okay. EDL down looking camera. So they had just kind of a basic camera to look up at the parachute being deployed, and so that's what. And that's not the parachute one. That one looks up at the sky crane that's delivering it down to the surface. Oh, wait a sec. What do we have? The microphone. Naughty, naughty. Real life, this also had a problem. They were going to listen to the first landing on Mars, and it did not work as intended because there was a microphone problem. Microphone. So there's two microphones on Perseverance, and this is the first time that we've successfully had a microphone land on the planet. We unsuccessfully had one land, though. Crash landing, you know. Crash landings are still landings, right? Right. Okay. Looking good. How's the old diagnostics looking now? Aha, we fixed it. So let's plug this in, plug it in, plug it in. Calibrate automatically. And we have finished this off. good amount of experience. Not huge, but not bad. No premium service. We got a bigger job for you this time. We're not entirely sure why, but the robot can't collect samples anymore. Sherlock can't calibrate correctly, and the problem issue. Should we analyze and see what's going on? All right. Oops. It has some little games you can play while you're waiting for parts to print. But if you're efficient, that won't be an issue. Well, definitely some problems here. Guess the screw just comes out really easily. Interesting. Maybe that's a problem if the drill bit just comes out that easily. I think this is the sample collection tool that'll be used to collect samples. Not seeing anything really obviously wrong. We may have to crack open the interior. There's no way this was a red with just those exterior parts. Okay. So while this is going, which would you guys rather see? See Curiosity so we can kind of see how it compares, or see one of the other Martian rovers? If I don't hear anything, then we'll compare it to Curiosity. Aha! Look at that. Ooh, that looks like it's in bad shape. Here's the sample collection so that they can go and drop off the parts on Mars, wherever they so desire. Looks like these are all just print parts. Drill contact sensor. So dock sensor C and D. Dock sensor C and D. We got Sherlock Electronics. And then there's one other thing. Drill contact sensor. Drill contact sensor. I guess these missions would be a lot harder if we didn't have previous knowledge of what was broken. Just being able to look at a glance is a huge advantage. You only get pretty close to the end. So, quick tour while we're here. You have Moxie, which is going to produce oxygen. Very important to send humans on board. These are a bunch of computers. You have some of the controlling electronics for the different things. I need to get more acquainted with it myself. Yeah. Said quick tour, right? I believe the feet will end up in these two holes of Ingenuity. Just to give you an idea of the size of the thing. I think it's like being stowed sideways like here, and then this thing will rotate around and orient it the right way. so that it can be deployed properly on the surface. Okay, let's go pick you up. Okay. Guess the contact sensor is just like a little piston. Must let you know that you're on the surface so it can drill the samples for the cache tubes that are there, which may someday return back to Earth. Okay. Let's check this out. Nope, it's still broken. Not surprised. So let's see if we can see what else is still broken. Ooh. Percussion. Naughty, naughty. Percussion Actuator is broken. Okay. Percussion Actuator. Get you a new one. Gotta take good care of our little boy here. Okay. Looking good. How about now? Yep, we just gotta restart the driver. So we'll plug in our little doohickey. There we go. Go over here. Hit calibrate automatically. And it is ready to go. Well done. Oh, there's one more perseverance. We've been recently analyzing data provided by the rover and encountered a strange anomaly. The samples are damaged and useless for us. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Let's look and see what you got. You can actually take off the RTG. So, looks like we got a cover plate that, oh boy, this thing has a lot of pieces. I was not prepared for this. So this is the caching assemble. It has some little tubes, you know, think of those little glass tubes. So we can stick a little piece of Martian dirt in, and then it will drop them off on the surface underneath like we saw earlier, and someday somebody will come by and pick up a new one. The current plan is that the British are building a little bot that's going to pick that up. They'll land it with a rocket and be able to hopefully return it back to Earth. And we can finally do the Mars sample return mission, which has been something that people have wanted to do for a very, very long time. The joke, though, is that we're going to go all the way to to Mars to clean up the poop from Perseverance. Okay, the cache assembly looks fine. You can see the little tubes here that it's going to be stuck in eventually. There'll be samples in there. Let's go check out the workbench. Okay. Looks like well, there's two parts. Gear motor, which we can take off right away. Good. So we got to take this off so we can get underneath. Okay. Ooh, there's a part on the other side. Nope, we got to take this guy off. That's fine. Which means we got to take this guy off first. We take that off, and then we take the door frame. See if we can figure out how this works. And then we can take off the lab. Ooh, fancy. My mousing precision is not that high tonight. Looks like everything else is probably hunky-dory. Yeah. Just in case, let's finish taking this down to nuts and bolts. Got a little cover to protect the caches. Okay, a little bit of housing. Ooh. Sample container. Got a cleaning tool housing. Wow. This is a complex little piece of operation. So you can corn it. How? Well, we'll look at it when it's all put back together. Okay. Let's try to do this from the tablet, because I think that might be easier. You can go back and forth. So revolver cloth. It was A, right? And then we've got the, that's the Shad C gear motor. Check C. Shakad. Okay. Then we've got the door unlock mechanism. And the lab. We got a braiding bit, so you can drill a piece of it. Probably, if the sample's too big, you got to make it so it'll fit in there. You got a sample container. Cleaning tool. Because if you're going to send your poop back to Earth, then you want to make sure it's nice and clean. Cleaning tool housing. Regolith Corning bit. And so let's just search for bit. So Corning bit, Regolith bit, and then is it bit housing? bit housing. Oops. We gotta go pick up our parts. Bit housing. So let's recycle all of these. Taking a quick look to see a braiding bit, sample container. Sample container, cleaning tool, cleaning regolith bit, corning bit. We got the bit housing, and that's it. Boy, this is a complex instrument. Okay. So the braiding bit goes in there. We got a sample container here. Clean housing. Cleaning tool. So maybe that'll clean the sample container? I don't know what that cleans. So corning bit goes in here. Do I not have one? Hang on. We have a corning bit. Is that what's on the printer? No. What happened to our corning bit? Or did I print out the wrong? Oh, corning bit and a coring bit. Oh gosh. Whoopsie daisies. So we must need the coring bit. Okay. Nope, we have successfully printed the wrong one, which is... We may as well replace it. Since we have the nice shiny one, we may as well put it in. And we'll just recycle the other one. So, coring bit. Now, hang on. This is the one here that we should not have replaced. Okay. So you have the coring bit. So you get the right size, the corning bit. I don't know what this is. The coring bit will make it so it's the right size. Maybe the corning's used to place the Martian sample in a clean collection tube. Yeah. So we have a couple of those just in case something happens. A braiding bit if we need to scrape away a piece. Regolith bit to deal with soil samples, no doubt. And you can put them all in the container. And it looks like we can rotate things around as need be to pick out the right tool. So you can have the right tool come from there. You have the inner door. So you can have a sample come in from one way, I guess, and use the tool from another one. Huh. Interesting. The motor that will turn it around. We have the lab, which is on the back side, but we can more easily reach it now, I guess. We have some QR codes. It's tempting to scan those. I have this recorded, so I may do that later. There's one, I think, on Sojourner, and I don't think QR codes were a thing at all back then. Boy, this sample container is very complex. Perseverance may be the first spacecraft to witness from a third. It was the first one to send back video of a object of itself landing on the planet. It may be the first one to capture another rocket as well. Okay, that looks reasonable. Let's go ahead and recycle the Corning bit, which is fine. Then the revolver cloth. I wonder if that's a technical term of some kind. Just to kind of keep the dust inside a chout. Whoops. Oh well. We're getting the electrical connections first today, boys and girls. Okay, that's fine. Put the upper cloth on. Look at the interesting shape of this. It must be intended to really keep it pristine. To be a very, very tight connection. Huh. This is a very, very interesting item, I gotta say. It should be, though. Mars sample return is something that we've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. And, you know, if you're going to do it, then do it right. Go big or go home? Isn't that the saying? Okay. Looks reasonable. Yep, it is all repaired. Just got to plug in our little doohickey. It's not super apparent that you can plug that in everywhere, but that's okay. Except... woohoo! Okay. Lots of experience gain. Let's see if we can do any upgrades. Nope. It's too bad. We have a couple more perseverance. Well, let's persevere through them, shall we? Have you done everything other way around? This rover certainly does that. It goes in reverse when it's supposed to go forward, wants to receive data when it's supposed to send it, and reads that's dark when there's light. Huh. Okay. So this is just doing everything backwards. One of the rovers, I think it was Spirit, was having to be traveling backwards for a while because one of its wheels was broken, and that was the way they figured they could best do it. Well, the mast is wrong. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. The mast is the only part that subassembly I know that has subassemblies in the entire game. The Hascam, yep, not surprised. These things are super complex, but very cool. Similar to the back ones that we were working on earlier. Those must be underneath it, and then pull the wire. Good. Let's go walk around. This guy's dirty? Yeah. We'll take you apart because we got to clean you at the very least to figure out if you're the problem. So we'll show you how we clean parts. Sometimes dirty parts are okay, but you have to clean them to figure out if they're broken or not. So we'll try all of this stuff, and then let's just take off the dust cover. Yep, that's dirty too. So we'll have to clean you off. And then the camera is dirty as well. So there's nothing clean about it. Well, that's okay. We'll just squirt some dust at you. Then we're going to have to inspect it to see if... Those things are pretty easy, but they're pretty small. We'll have to inspect it to see if all of the parts are good. Front has cam. So it looks like these two cameras are broken. You can see that we have to take off this, which means we have to take off this first. So this is the cover. Again, the first images came with this cover on. I think the first image we got down was one of these cameras. It was one of the Hascams. We've got the mast. The navigation cameras are broken. Okay. So these are helpful in the long-range navigation of the rover. They're not so much for the day-to-day stuff, but you can look and see what's broken and get them fixed. Okay. Everything looks clean. So let's pull up our tablet. It's the easiest way I know to analyze these parts that we have not yet done. The flip cover, good. Everything looks good about that rear thing, so we took it apart for no reason, but it's clean now, so that's good. So front has can camera and mast nav cam. So we need the nav cam. And then we need the front has cam. So one of the cool things with these ones is this is the first time that the navigation cameras have been color. That's all we need to put together. While these are printing, let's put back together the rear Hascam. I don't think there's another piece on there. Everything looks clean. Okay. Now for that, we're going to need the parts, so let's go pick those up. Nice and shiny. Ah, these new parts are just beautiful. It's a shame to waste them on a dusty, dirty environment, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Put the cover. It's interesting that there's one cover for all four of these cameras. Okay. And then let's get the mast up. Wait, we're missing a nav cam. Well, we'll go pick it up. Nope. Dadgum, I didn't click it enough times. It happens, but we'll print that off lickety-split. While we're at it, we can replace the rear camera. This should be easy enough. I don't know why that didn't show up as green already. Get the other nav cam back on. Okay. I think we're good to go. Just put the front has cams back on. So many different cameras on this bot. They all have such different purposes. This cover looks really bad, doesn't it? But it's not, it's just a reflection. I don't know of what exactly, but it's definitely just a reflection. And then get the power in. Excellent. Power in data. And then put the mask back on. Okay, let's see if this looks like it's good. Nope. Okay, what's next? It's all going backwards, so my feeling is the electronics have got to be messed up. So let's go check that out. Okay, one last set. And we are done. I like the little Y there. No, but we do have a radio. That is interesting. Okay. So UHF radio, this is the radio that would be sending the and receiving the commands. This is the one that talks to the satellite. I think usually the UHF radio, though, just sends data, and I think the commands actually come directly from Earth. That's my understanding, but the radio is broken. Okay, let's check. This one is for the helicopter, which has an antenna right there. So that's how they talk to the helicopter. I don't think, yeah. So UHF. Is it A or B? A. Okay. No, we may as well put this back together. Now, I assume there's a radio B that's on the other side. So let's back up. This is, even though the mission could survive without it, it would be severely hurt. Be like the Galileo mission to Jupiter. Very danged data bandwidth harmed because the high gain antenna never deployed. So they had to downlink things from Jupiter, which is like 200 million miles away, with a crummy antenna. Don't see anything else, so let's go ahead and put the cover back on. I don't think that cover is going to help us any. Okay. Looking good so far. Okay. Let's check the stats. No, still not repaired. Well, huh. Let's try the other side of the radio. See if it is looking good. Okay. Open the cover up. Nope. Wonder what the other radio that was in there. Should have probably checked. Because you'd only have one helicopter radio. Well, let's see. What else could be going on here? I'm not seeing anything real obvious. Calibration stuff looks good. Looking to see if there's something dirty, but that doesn't seem to be the case. My guess is we need to get back in here. That one of these assemblies is just a cover. We're going to remove the one that says cover. Sometimes you just have to take something off when you're trying to fix it. Okay. So nothing looks busted, but one of these is just a cover. Moxie. No. Subcam body unit. It really does seem like this is all good. Huh. So what's the problem? What's your deal, buddy? You can talk to me. You can tell me anything. So it was moving backwards. Let's drop this down so it's easier to look at. Is the other... No. Rimfax. Rear has cam. That guy's good. That guy's good. Some little doohickey. Hello, little doohickey. That all seems good. Looking for a cover panel, something that we... Right side suspension. Yeah, I hope that's not it. Inlet filter cover. It's remotely possible. This is for the Moxie. Nope. Okay. Didn't think so. So Moxie will take in air coming from the surrounding, and it has to make sure it stays free of dust. So this will act as a dust filter to protect that. Calibration target. What are we missing? Got the calibration. We got this. Still not repaired. Okay. Let's see here. So it goes in reverse when it's supposed to go forward. That's the cameras. It wants to receive data when it's supposed to send it. That's the transmitter. And it reads that it's dark when there's light. It reads that it's dark when there's light. So is there a sun sensor of some kind? Well, I don't know. Maybe one of these motors, which there is actually a motor behind these, isn't there? So let's take these apart. Whoops. We'll place you back on. Looks like there's no way to check it short of taking the wheels off. It's probably not the middle wheel. Yep. It's got to be one of these, though. What do you guys think? I feel good that this is our right approach. Nope. Still nothing, huh? Well, we got two more that we can check. Let's check this one first. I feel better about this. Nope. Yeah, last one. If not, then there's the motors that are in the suspension, maybe. Could be one of those. Not that either. All right. 'Cause 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 Well, we have these. Let's pull the cap off. We'll check the motor that's on underneath. Very clever design, these. Nope, that looks good. Boy, this is a head scratcher, isn't it? Has a nice little calibration doohickey. There we go. Let's take you off. Okay, plop. Nope. Okay. Well, we can keep checking these, I suppose. I don't know what else to do. I really would love to know more about how this game was made. Like, did they actually work with guys from JPL? They based it off of public schematics or what? Because you can actually find 3D models of these. They don't have every little nook and cranny that you would find, but they're there. Okay. Let's get you unscrewed. Nope. Huh. Well, it's gotta be a computer. It's gotta be. What else is going on with you? Looking for any little bit of red. Calibration target looks good. UHF antenna is now looking fine. Excuse me. Whew. That was a nice yawn. I don't know. I do not know. What's RimFax? Okay, it's a radar. First radar on the ground of Mars, although the Chinese also have one that and will be landing soon, and there's been a number of them that have been in orbit, at least 2, maybe 3. Organic reference material brick. Huh. That's interesting. So we can calibrate organic sensors by looking at that to see, hey, is the sensor looking good? That's pretty neat. All right, let's do it again. Let's take this thing apart. Okay. Love the little Y shape there. Let's just... No. That is a brick. It's not a cover. Looking for things that are covers. Moxie is a brick. Rimu. This would be the kind of thing that would be broken. Nope. What's this? There's a lot of screws here. Oh, that's probably something that's screwed in on the top side. No. Excuse me. Woo. Time to go yawn. Rimu. Rover Power Analog Man. It's controlling for the real motors. Let's try taking this off. We'll go ahead and do that. See if there's something on the underneath of this. It's easy enough to take off. Yep. Very critical module. You can see pretty much everything plugs into here. What else have we got? Soup body cam handle. Rover compute elements. So these are the two computers. Sherlock is scanning habitable environments with radium and aluminum for organic chemicals. So this is the EDL brain. This is controlling everything there. Rover battery assembly unit contains, these are the batteries, okay. I don't know. Interior cover, UHF-B, UHF-A. Those are peeking into those little side boxes. All right. There it is. Naughty, naughty. So this is the landing camera. This is the camera that was pointed down and took that excellent, excellent video that I'm sure most of us have seen by this point in time. So let's go and pull this thing apart. Okay. It just has a lens that's quite filthy. So we'll clean the lens and see. Yeah, this, you can just tell this part's bad. So we got LCAM lens. LCAM lens. Print that off. We'll go recycle the old one while we're waiting. Doesn't matter. We're still recycling it. Good. Because I don't want it clogging up my inventory. Screw, screw, screw. Okay. Well, we got to understand the electronics a little bit better, which is good. Most of those electronics boxes, I believe you can take them apart and they'll have some actual electronic cards that you can go solder and unsolder, but this is mostly about screwing and not so much about soldering. Okay. Good. And then put the camera on. Landing camera is all important. Oh gosh, this perspective's horrible. Wonder if nobody's ever tried to install the landing camera from this angle. Huh. Well, that's interesting. And let's check this out. Oh, thank goodness. If that wasn't it, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Can we plug it in? It's a little tricky to get that when it's high. I can't always succeed, so we'll drop this down just a little bit. Not all the way. Plug in our doohickey to restart it. Go over here, calibrate automatically. And we have met all objectives, complete the order. Woohoo! Can't get any more upgrades, which is fine. We have a couple more perseverance. Let's try another hard one. During the last mission, the poor guy got under a rock landslide. It sustains quite a bit of damage. Okay. Poor guy. Let's see what we can do. Kaput. Okay. Ooh. This is going to be hard. I've never taken the arm apart. Okay, let's just start taking this. We're going to have to take off everything that's on the arm first before we can take the arm off. And we already know there's a bunch of little doohickeys. Like the drill contact sensor, you just pull out. The corning bit that you apparently just pull out. Various sensors. I'd love to know what these do. So this is for drilling. Okay, looking good. Sherlock. We were trying to fix here earlier. But this time it looks like we're going to have to get inside the guts of you, as opposed to just scratching the surface. Looks like a power cable. Sounds like one too. And then another power. Okay. Pluck. Instrument turret. I still love that it's called a turret. Okay. Unscrew a bunch of things. Get the power out. Oh, this is mechanical. Never mind. Whole bunch of power cables. And data. Data's important too. This thing looks like it's seen better days. Okay, Auger Actuator. Auger will mix things around a little bit, shake them up. Got a motor here. Need to take off. Oh, we got Percussion Actuator. And then the instrument turret comes off. Excellent. Forearm assembly cannot come off yet because we got an actuator cap or two to remove. And then the actuator behind it, no doubt. Okay. probably have... Oh, we can take this one off already. Good. Let's do that. This is a lot, but not too much, I suppose. This is a hard one after all. I find the difference between easy and hard is not how hard it is to get to the part. It's how many parts are broken at a time. Take off this actuator cap. Boy, this arm just got clobbered, didn't you? Wow. Yeah, the engine's going to need some work. Okay, we can take you off finally. Do you see anything else red? Let's just do a little bit of looking around. Okay. That looks fine. So first thing, let's get the parts that we can just replace. We got the GDRT cover. We got Sherlock. Wait, some of these are assemblies. Aha, so let's... GDRT cover, auger, forearm assembly, and upper arm assembly. So let's just try... the forearm and upper arm assembly. Forearm assembly, upper arm assembly. And then, what was the other one? Auger. Oh, instrument turret. Auger Actuator. And then instrument turret. Oh, there was a turret. That's what they called it too on Curiosity. How cool. Let's start taking things apart. So, Sherlock. Oof. Almost everything about you is busted up. Alright. You don't go to the doctor on the days you're feeling good, usually. I mean, I guess you go for a checkup, but... whole bunch of little screws on here. Looking good. Okay. We got this doohickey. Another one, Sherlock down holder. Is that to hold it down? Left holder. Probably keeps it mounted. Those guys look fine. One of these are cover of some kind. No. Okay, I think that's it. Let's get Pixel fixed to 2. So we got a dust cover. Whole bunch of little itty bitty screws. I'm so glad you don't have to keep track of the little itty bitty screws. It's the worst part of doing this kind of job is making sure you don't lose them. That looks fine. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then GDRT, supply tank. Okay. Looks good. We got some engines. We'll crack these open and see. The engines have some brushes, which look like they're okay. We're going to have to take those off. And the motors, which are not okay in this instance. The rotor. There we go. That's what it's called. Whoops. And on you, what seems to be your problem? The rotor as well. Lovely. So we know we need 2 rotors. Let's see, RE20 rotor. So those are going to take a little while to print. While those are printing, let's see if we can get the next parts. Supply tank pixel cover. Supplies. Pixel floodlight cover. Good. So that's this guy in the supply tank. So next up, Sherlock holders. Down holder, left holder, right holder. We'll get the right holder here in just a sec. 1, 0, good. Pick some parts up. Down, right, left. Actuator cap. Did I print a new instrument turret? Yeah. Sherlock objective, Watson objective. I'm sure we haven't got those. Sherlock cover. Yeah. Pretty sure we don't have that either. Sherlock cover. Then we have actuator cap. I think we're going to need a new one of those, and we have an Auger Actuator. I think we only need one of those, so I think we need the cap. But we'll only need that for the final assembly. I think it's this one. It's a curiosity part, but there is a lot in common between the two. Okay. Get the brushes back on. And the little cap. Excellent. One motor fixed. Let's go for motor 2. Wahaha. Okay. Next we have GTRT. This was the supply tank. Doesn't look like it's in that great a repair for just being brand new. And there was something else I thought, but maybe not. Whoops. Nope, that's it. Pixel. Just the cover, which has a zillion screws. They really want to make sure this thing is screwed on tight, don't they? And it's just a floodlight, it says. I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay. Sherlock. So we got the cover. I love how they have Sherlock and Watson and what am I missing? There we go. Sometimes the screws do not highlight very well. Sherlock objective. And then the Watson objective is on the other side. Somebody had a little bit of fun with the naming scheme, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I'll have to look and see what those actually do. The right holder. The down holder. We'll see how those actually work. I have a feeling they'll come into play when we start to assemble this. Okay. Got you. Any more parts to recycle? Nope. If we've done everything right, we should be able to put this little guy back together. Good as new, almost. Okay, we got its arm. The actuator, the engine first, which has 3 covers. And then for added protection, we put a little cap on here. Guess that keeps the dust out of that more effectively, which makes sense. Martian dust is no joke. It's not as bad as lunar dust, but lunar dust is some nasty, nasty stuff. It affected the seals to everything, and, you know, ideally, whoops, we have an extra actuator cap. I knew we didn't toss everything. Ideally, they would seal the lunar samples when they were still in vacuum, and that everything would be pristine. But as I understand, they had some problems actually doing that because the lunar dust would get into the seals. It's pretty nasty stuff. Martian dust, though, because of the wind, is a little bit better. The reason why lunar dust is so nasty is there's no wind to smoothen the edges with time, so it's just little volcanic rock that is split everywhere. The turret. Oh, that amuses me so much. It's called a turret. Oh, we got a bunch of things. Coring bits. The contact sensors. I wonder if these are if you touch these, then stop right now, like the emergency sensors. They could be. That is a fairly common thing to do. Okay, looking good. This is coming back together again. Sherlock. Okay, so this is where those holders come into place. It's just how it's connected to the instrument. It must be connected this way to avoid some shocking. I wonder why they're all different, though. For a sensitive instrument that's on an arm of a rover, you want to be really careful, and so you put some extra shock absorbers like these guys have. So that way you can keep the instrument relatively stable. I think that's all those are. A lot of screws on the back. That's interesting. Those must be annoying to get to. So we got the GDRT. Okay. We got the GDRT cover, which goes in much easier than some of the other things. Another engine. And then another actuator cap. The engines are much easier to replace, at least in this game, than some of the other instruments, which kind of makes sense, I guess. You might blow one of those during some testing. The Auger Actuator. It's no wonder if there's an auger on there, though, that they have such tremendous sensitivity. Okay. No missing parts. It is repaired. Let's go ahead and dump the cap that we don't need for a whole one. Wow. Plug it in. All right. So, I think we're done with Perseverance here. And I think we're done with for the night. Next time, I think we'll play more with the Curiosity. Maybe Sojourner. Maybe we'll do a couple of different bots just for the fun of it. But yeah, I think we're going to continue with this one more night, and then we'll see what we end up doing next. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know whatever questions or comments you guys have. If you're interested more in this game, then you can check out my YouTube channel. Just Google Roadster Tracker, search for it, and you'll find I have two of them. The smaller one is the gaming one. You can find other videos. I do actually have some videos of this on my main channel where I talk more about the parts that are on there and a little bit more of how realistic it is. Thank you guys so much for everything. Until next time, keep on tracking. Take care, guys.